between you and Levi.
They stay.
All right, guys. No other questions for Trey.
A lot of people have kind of raved about your off season. Have you felt a difference in yourself being out here?
Yeah, sure. More comfortable, kind of know what I'm doing, know what they expect of me. I know what I had to fix from last year, and obviously it's a continuing process that I'm going to go through this whole camp and obviously, hit it off in the season.
Trey, what did you improve on? I know what we can see, but I'd love to hear from your perspective.
Yeah, I think I kind of changed my body a little bit. I was a little down on weight last year, so put on a little more weight, just to get a handle of the duties of, playing outside receiver, playing everywhere, doing a lot of different things. Just catching a ton of footballs, and I can't tell you how many I've caught. Just continuing to do that, and just doing a little bit of studying. The opponents that we're going to play this year, you have your iPad and that type of thing. So just being prepared way ahead, knowing what they're going to do, it helps me get the best of my game.
Can you kind of tell us what the difference is as a receiver, versus getting the ball from Ayton versus getting the ball versus Gardner, and kind of what quarterbacks bring to the table as far as, leading this team?
Yeah, it's actually funny because one of my mentors, coaches always told me, like, it doesn't matter who's throwing the ball. It's our job to catch it. It's our job to get their name in the paper. So I don't really notice a difference of who's throwing the ball. I kind of just go in the huddle and whatever play's called, just try to execute it, and at the end of the day, come down with the football.
Trey, Aiden mentioned that he was were in Vegas this off season and you had an opportunity to practice. How important was that and how difficult was it coming into training camp?
Yeah, it was super important. That's my guy. It's surreal. Last year when we came in, we both were on field too, over there, just trying to learn the playbook. Now we're out there starting it off, and throwing this obviously was huge because I kind of really got to know him as a person, and that's kind of all we did, 3 or 4 times a week in the morning, and very beneficial.
A follow-up question to that, you mentioned that you had changed your body a little bit and you kind of noticed some of the change on him. You guys kind of look into nutrition together or something like that?
He's a quarterback, so what he's got going on, I don't think we were gonna look at each other just because I'm a different position than he is. But I know he's definitely added some muscle. It was actually a funny joke last year when we went to it was an event, and some guy made a comment about his legs. He was like, "Hey man, your legs, you gotta get bigger." So he's like, probably gonna do a lot of calf raises every day. So this offseason he attacked the whole thing, and he looks great.
Aiden has talked warmly about you, the person, off the field as well. What is it about the two of you and your friendship?
That's a good question. I think it's just like I was saying earlier. You come in together. As a rookie in the NFL, it's probably one of the hardest things. Just because you're thrown in the fire and that type of thing. And you just want to be a quarterback's best friend. Like we just hit it off, kind of same-minded off the field, which kind of helps us click on the field. So yeah, that's what I say.
Did today feel like camp for you? Did it feel like it was a little bit more intensity was ramped up a little bit?
I would say, I think it's, each day, it's a little more ramped up. I obviously put the shells on, but that doesn't really mean anything. I think, for me, every day I kind of take that approach that's going to be ramped up. When you got the defense that we have, that's just going to be what it is. So I'm excited to get past, I'll tell you that.
It feels like you guys have been a point of emphasis to work on the red zone. You've started, these last 2 days have been real red zone heavy. How important is that side of the field, and how important is it for you guys to get that part of the field right?
It's super important. You're right. We put a big emphasis on that because you got to be able to score points in the red zone. We kind of struggled with that last year, and that'll be something that that's the difference between a win and a loss. So definitely put an emphasis on it. It get kind of frustrating because defense tightens up, that kind of thing. But it's very good for us because that's a very good defense we have on the other side.
So you talked a lot about things that you worked on in the offseason. What goes into training? Translate that to practice, kind of one game like situation.
Do football things. Obviously Tay's like a big brother to me. I spend a lot of time with him. Pick his brain, and I always ask him, what do you do in the offseason? People really never see what he does in the offseason. He comes in and it's like, what do you do? Every season. So just do a lot of football stuff, football things that translate. Running routes, working releases, catching the football with distractions, that type of thing. That's the stuff that's going to translate.
Well, you talk with the defense a lot. It seems like they're talking a lot, they're dancing a lot. How much does that kind of help get the competitiveness going out there?
It's great. It's great, and that's what you want because, for us to see a top NFL defense every day like that is huge. And you know, defense are typically, I would always say, a little bit ahead starting off, but when we get in pads, I think you know we'll ramp it up on them a little bit, and we'll quiet the little talking about it. So.
AP referenced this though earlier today when he talked about seeing some of that from the offense. Now, if you guys getting excited, is it creating that type of atmosphere in the offensive huddle?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, we want to put an emphasis on when we score, celebrate. So the funny thing is, there was a ball thrown in the end zone yesterday. I think it was on this side, and we celebrated. Everybody was, you know, turned up and everything, and it pissed them off. Pissed the whole defense off. That's all they kept talking about. So they went and reviewed it. And it was like, oh, that wasn't a touchdown. That's all they were talking about. So anything we can do to get under their skin.
It feels like the DBs have made a lot of strides from last year to this one. How would you compare going up against them from the end of last year to now? As far as they do?
Yeah, obviously we got D. Jack Jones, but I'm really impressed with JB. You know, obviously another rookie last year. Man, he's just taking a whole different approach to it, and a guy like that, I'm excited to see him blossom. But more on Jack, man. I'm just he's a guy like you go out there and it's like your antennas just go way up just because you know he's a spunky type player, you know, like, you know, he wants to jump the route, you know, he's eyes in the back to that type of guy, but I think just his overall IQ and demeanor, you know, it's really going to help him, and I think he'll be one of the best players in the game.
You guys signed with Gallup this offseason, and he retired. I mean, that was a guy that was probably going to be around, come the same snaps, kind of competing for you. So when you hear that, what do you think? And I guess does that open more opportunities for you going forward?
Yeah, I mean, Michael, me and him were really cool, man. I was actually bummed to hear that just because how good of a guy he was. But, you know, for me, you know, obviously knowing this is the NFL, no matter who's here, they're going to bring someone in. So it's always going to be a competition. And, you know, it's kind of my job to, you know, it's my job to lose, you know. So I'm going to take that approach, and whoever we bring in, whoever we get, you know, just know that keep my head down and keep working.
Cameron Richardson is somebody that's been playing with the 1s and 2s over on that side of the field. What are your thoughts or impressions of the young quarterback?
I was actually just talking to him a little bit earlier. He's going to be really good. Obviously, he just got here, so I didn't really mention him then. But I love him. He's a very long guy. He's aggressive and he can run. That's the thing. You know, I love to see about a DB that they're aggressive and they're not scared to hit, scared of contact. Obviously, I had a few snaps against him today in one-on-ones, and you know, it's really just a test for me because obviously I'm a smaller, faster guy, but he's a longer guy, so those type of guys going to get hands-on, and I think he's going to be really good.
You have potentially more opportunities in the kicking game with the new rules this year. How exciting is that for you? And what have you kind of seen out of what that could mean?
Yeah, obviously we're trying to hammer away at the thing just because it's different. You know, I guess the first thing that comes to my head is how am I going to play without a Madden? You know, just because it's different. But I'm excited. No matter any way I can get the ball in my hand, I think you know it's great for me. So whatever they ask me to do, whether it's kick return, punt return, both, I mean, I'm great.
How will you handle it on that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. How do you play that? I mean, like, it's, you know how you kick the ball off a man, you double tap A or whatever. I'm just curious how that's gonna work. So.
Let's do one more, guys. One more.
Trey, we heard from the defense on what their reaction to the potential record of the Raiders is. Have you all heard about it? How did you guys handle it?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard about it a little bit. I try to, you know, not really dive too much into what's on social media, just to keep the main thing. But I mean, you know, that's just the way it is. You know, they're gonna say that until we prove them otherwise. But obviously, we got to prove ourselves right. And we know what we got in the building. So no matter what we do, just keep coming in and working hard every day and achieving the ultimate goal.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Trey.
Thanks, Trey.
Trey.